Good evening. Tonight, you'll discover how time shapes everything we know, how civilizations measured the unmeasurable, and how every second connects us to the infinite cosmos. 100 facts about time that will guide you into the most peaceful sleep. But first, if you want more journeys like this, subscribe to the channel and leave a like right now, because in just a few minutes, you'll be too relaxed to move. Now then, make yourself comfortable. Let your body sink into your bed. Close your eyes. Tonight, I invite you on a journey through the fourth dimension, through ancient sundials and atomic clocks, through the mysteries of relativity and the simple beauty of a sunset. 100 remarkable facts, told slowly, gently, without haste. You don't need to remember them. You don't need to analyze them. Just listen, and let these words become part of your dreams. Breathe evenly, deeply, and we begin. The Northern Lights, or Aurora Borealis, are one of Earth's most spectacular natural light displays. They appear as shimmering curtains of light, dancing ribbons, glowing arcs that stretch across the night sky. Colors shift and change: green, purple, red, blue, pink, sometimes all at once, sometimes fading from one to another like a slow watercolor painting. Imagine standing beneath them, the cold Arctic air on your face, and above you, the sky itself seems alive, moving, breathing, dancing. The name Aurora Borealis comes from two sources. Aurora was the Roman goddess of dawn. She would race across the sky each morning, announcing the arrival of the sun. Borealis comes from the Greek word for north wind, boreas, together. Aurora Borealis means the northern dawn, a beautiful name for a beautiful phenomenon. The scientist Galileo Galilei is believed to have coined this term in 1619, though he never saw the lights himself from his home in Italy. The northern lights occur in an oval shape around the North Pole. This region is called the auroral oval. It's a band that circles the magnetic North Pole at a distance of about 15 to 20 degrees latitude. Within this oval, the lights are most frequent, most vibrant, most likely to appear on any given night. The auroral oval isn't fixed. It expands and contracts, growing larger during periods of high solar activity, shrinking during quiet times. If you're still awake, imagine that oval, a ring of light around the top of the world, constantly shifting, constantly changing. The northern lights occur at altitudes between 60 and 600 miles above Earth's surface. That's much higher than where airplanes fly, higher than weather patterns, higher than the clouds. Most auroras occur between 60 and 120 miles up, in a region of the atmosphere called the thermosphere. At these heights, the air is incredibly thin, so thin you couldn't breathe it, yet is dense enough to glow when struck by particles from space. The southern hemisphere has its own version of the aurora. It's called the aurora australis, the southern lights. They occur in a ring around the South Pole, just like their northern counterpart, with the same colors, the same movements, the same ethereal beauty. The physics is identical. The only difference is geography. Few people see the southern lights because most of the auroral oval lies over Antarctica. a frozen continent with no permanent human population. But they're there, dancing in solitude, unseen by human eyes most of the time. Interesting, isn't it? The ancient Egyptians divided the day into 24 hours. They observed that during the year, 12 star groups appeared in the night sky. Each group rose at a different time. This gave them 12 divisions of the night. They mirrored this for daytime. 12 hours of day, 12 hours of night, though their hours weren't equal to ours. The concept was born. Imagine standing in the Egyptian desert, looking up at the stars, using them as a clock, the same stars that shine above you now, through your window, guiding ancient peoples through time. The oldest known sundial dates back to around 1500 BCE. Found in Egypt, it was a simple L-shaped piece of stone. The shadow it cast would move as the sun traveled across the sky, marking the passage of hours. Before mechanical clocks, before digital displays, humans read time in shadows, in the slow dance between earth and sun. There's something peaceful about that. Time measured by natural light, by the gentle movement of darkness across stone. Water clocks, or clepsydras, were used for thousands of years. The ancient Chinese, the Greeks, the Romans, all used vessels that would fill or empty with water at a steady rate. Marks on the vessels indicated the hours. Water, with its constant flow, became a measure of time's passage. Drop by drop, moment by moment. Even now, you can almost hear it. The soft drip of water, marking time, lulling you deeper into relaxation. The first mechanical clocks appeared in medieval Europe in the 1300s. Large tower clocks began appearing in churches and town squares. They used falling weights and gears to keep time, ringing bells to mark the hours. These clocks weren't very accurate by modern standards. They might gain or lose 15 minutes in a day, but they transformed how people experienced time. Before these clocks, most people lived by the sun's rhythm. After, they began living by the chime of bells. Time became something you could hear, something communal, shared. The word clock comes from the Latin word for bell, clocca in medieval Latin, because the first mechanical clocks didn't have faces. They just rang bells. Time was something you heard before it was something you saw. Language itself carries time within it. Words that echo back centuries, connecting you to people who wondered about time, just as you might now, as you drift towards sleep. If you're still awake, that's perfectly fine. There are 90 more facts to come. Each one, a gentle stepping stone into dreams. The minute hand wasn't added to clocks until the late 1600s. For centuries, clocks only had hour hands. People didn't need such precise measurements. The exact minute didn't matter the way it does now. Life moved at a different pace, more relaxed, more connected to natural rhythms. Sometimes, it's nice to imagine living that way, where the exact minute doesn't matter, where time is felt rather than counted. The second hand came even later. Only when technology advanced enough to make truly accurate timepieces did we begin dividing hours into minutes and minutes into seconds. Now we measure time in milliseconds, nanoseconds. We've sliced time into pieces so small, they're invisible to human perception. But tonight, we're letting go of that precision. Tonight, time is just now, this moment, this breath. Trees record time in their rings. Each year, a tree grows a new layer of wood beneath its bark. In spring and summer, when growth is rapid, the wood is light-colored. In fall and winter, it darkens. These rings tell stories. Drought years show narrow rings, wet years, wide ones. A tree is a living chronicle, a silent witness to decades or centuries of time passing. Imagine running your hand across those rings, feeling the years. Each circle, a season, a journey around the sun. Some trees are older than most civilizations. Bristlecone pines in California have been alive for over 5,000 years. They were already ancient when the Egyptian pyramids were being built. These trees have stood through the rise and fall of empires, through ice ages and warm periods, through countless human lives. They remind us that time moves at different scales. What seems long to us is brief in nature's calendar. Coral reefs also keep time records, like trees. Corals lay down growth bands. These bands reflect the seasons, the temperature of the ocean, the amount of sunlight. Scientists can read these bands like pages in a book, learning about past climates, about how the ocean has changed, about time itself, preserved in calcium carbonate. The ocean, vast and ancient, holding secrets of ages past, recording time in its own patient way. Cicadas have one of the longest life cycles of any insect. Some species spend 17 years underground, developing slowly, waiting, and then they all emerge at once, a living alarm clock, set decades in advance. How do they know when 17 years have passed? Scientists believe they count the cycles of trees, the annual changes in sap flow, time, measured in patience, in waiting, in the wisdom of knowing when the moment is right. Turtles can live for over 100 years. The oldest known sea turtle lived to be at least 188 years old. Born in the 1830s, alive through the Industrial Revolution, through world wars, through the space age. Imagine experiencing time that slowly, where a human lifetime is just one chapter, where centuries unfold like seasons. What would the world look like if we perceived time the way a turtle does? Bacteria can reproduce every 20 minutes. In the time it takes you to have dinner, a single bacterium could become millions. Time, for them, moves at a pace we can barely comprehend. A generation every 20 minutes, thousands of generations in the span of your day. It's humbling, isn't it? To realize that time is experienced so differently, that while you've been lying here, listening to these words, entire lineages of microscopic life have been born and passed on. Time is relative, even without Einstein's physics, simply by virtue of what you are, how you exist. The average human heart beats about 100,000 times per day. That's roughly 70 times per minute. Every beat, a tiny measurement of time, a rhythm that has accompanied you since before you were born. Your heart is your own personal clock, beating steadily, right now. A reminder that you're alive, that time is flowing through you. Feel it if you can, that gentle pulse, proof of time's passage, proof of life. Humans blink approximately 15 to 20 times per minute. Each blink lasts about 1/10 of a second, which means, in an average day, you spend about 30 minutes with your eyes closed, just from blinking. 30 minutes of darkness, built into every day, little pauses, scattered throughout time. Even now, your eyes are closed, and that's exactly where they should be. The human brain can perceive events as short as 13 milliseconds. That's 13 thousandths of a second. Incredibly brief. Yet your brain can distinguish them, can process them, can experience them as distinct moments. Time, at the scale of thought, moves impossibly fast, faster than you can imagine. And yet, right now, time feels slow, peaceful, gentle, because you're relaxed, because you're letting go, because you're allowing time to simply be. Children perceive time as moving more slowly than adults do. Remember being a child. Remember how summer vacation felt endless, how the days between birthdays seemed to stretch on forever. That wasn't just your imagination. Your brain was processing more new information. Everything was novel, and novelty makes time feel longer. As we age, routines form, days blur together, time seems to speed up, but tonight we're slowing it down again, paying attention, noticing, making time feel longer, fuller, richer. The present moment lasts about 3 seconds. Neuroscientists have studied what we perceive as now, and it's roughly a 3-second window. Anything before that becomes the past. Anything after is the future. 3 seconds. That's your eternal now, constantly updating, constantly moving forward. A rolling wave of present time. Right now is now, and now, and now, forever, and never. Humans have been measuring time for at least 5,000 years. From ancient Sumerian calendars, to Egyptian sundials, to Chinese water clocks. We've always wanted to track time, to understand it, to control it. But we've never truly controlled it. Time flows. Regardless of our measurements, regardless of our clocks, it simply is, and that's okay. You don't need to control time. You just need to exist within it, to flow with it, like water, like breath. The Earth takes exactly 365.2422 days to orbit the Sun. Not a neat 365. That extra quarter day accumulates, which is why we have leap years. Every 4 years, we add an extra day. February 29th, to keep our calendar aligned with the seasons. But even that's not perfect, so we skip some leap years. It's complicated, beautiful, an eternal dance between human systems and cosmic reality. The Gregorian calendar we use today was introduced in 1582. Before that, Europe used the Julian calendar, but it was slightly inaccurate. Over centuries, it had drifted. Easter was occurring at the wrong time of year, so Pope Gregory XIII reformed it. 10 days were simply skipped. October 4th, 1582, was followed by October 15. Imagine going to sleep one night and waking up 10 days in the future. Time, adjusted by decree. Different cultures have different calendars. The Islamic calendar is lunar, based on the cycles of the moon. It has only 354 days in a year, so Islamic holidays move through the seasons. The Hebrew calendar is lunisolar, a hybrid, attempting to honor both moon and sun. The Chinese calendar, the Hindu calendar, the Ethiopian calendar, each one a different way of marking time, a different rhythm, a different story. Time is universal, but how we measure it is deeply human, deeply cultural. January wasn't always the first month of the year. The Roman calendar originally began in March, which is why September means 7th month, even though it's the 9th. October means 8th, November 9th, December 10th. January and February were added later, and eventually, January was moved to the beginning. Time's measurement is more arbitrary than you might think. We've shaped it, molded it, made it fit our needs. A year on Mercury lasts just 88 Earth days. If you lived on Mercury, you'd have a birthday every 3 months. Time would feel very different. 4 summers in an Earth year, 4 winters. On Venus, a day is longer than a year. The planet rotates so slowly that it orbits the sun faster than it spins once on its axis. Time, in the cosmos, doesn't follow our rules. It's wild, strange, wonderful. On Neptune, a year lasts 165 Earth years. Imagine experiencing one season for 40 years, a summer that outlasts entire human lifetimes, a winter that your grandchildren would still be living through. Time stretches, time shrinks, depending on where you are, depending on perspective. But here, in this room, in this moment, time is perfect, just as it is. You're doing wonderfully. Halfway through the first third of our journey, let your breathing deepen, let your mind drift. These facts are here, whether you hear them clearly or let them fade into dreams. Light takes about 8 minutes to travel from the sun to Earth, which means when you look at the sun, you're seeing it as it was 8 minutes ago. You're looking into the past. Every ray of sunlight is a time traveler. The present moment of the sun hasn't reached you yet, won't reach you for another 8 minutes. We live in a universe of delayed information where nothing is quite as it seems. The light from the nearest star takes over 4 years to reach us. Proxima Centauri, our closest stellar neighbor, 4.2 light years away. When you see it in the sky, you're seeing it as it was 4 years ago. That star could have exploded yesterday, and you wouldn't know for years to come. The night sky is a museum of time. Every star, a different era. Some light has traveled for thousands of years to reach your eyes. When you look at distant galaxies, you're looking billions of years into the past. The Andromeda Galaxy is 2.5 million light years away. The light you see from it left before humans existed, before our species evolved. By the time that light reached Earth, traveled all that distance, we were here to see it, a cosmic coincidence, a meeting across time. Looking up is looking back. The universe shows us its history, written in light. Nothing can travel faster than light. 299,792,458 meters per second. The cosmic speed limit, not just a limit on movement, but a limit on information, on causality, on how fast one moment can influence another. This speed limit is built into the fabric of time and space. They're connected, inseparable. Light moves through both at the maximum possible rate, and in a way that's comforting. There are rules, constants, things we can depend on. Time dilation becomes significant as you approach the speed of light. If you were on a spacecraft traveling at 99% of light speed, time would pass 7 times slower for you than for someone on Earth. You could travel for 1 year and return to find 7 years had passed at home. You'd be younger than friends who stayed behind. It's called the twin paradox, and it's not a paradox at all. Stonehenge, built around 3000 BCE, was likely used to track time. The massive stones align with the summer and winter solstices. When the sun rises on the longest day of the year, it appears directly above one of the stones. Ancient peoples built monuments to time, permanent markers, ways to know when the seasons would change, when to plant, when to harvest. These stones have stood for 5,000 years, watching time pass, silent sentinels. The ancient Mayans had an incredibly accurate calendar. Without modern instruments, they calculated the length of a year to within 42 seconds of the actual duration. 42 seconds over the course of an entire year. They observed the stars, the planets, the sun and moon. They kept meticulous records, generation after generation. Time was sacred to them, a gift from the gods, something to be honored, understood, preserved. The ancient Chinese invented the first mechanical clock escapement around 725 CE. A Buddhist monk named Yi Xing created a water-powered clock with an escapement mechanism. This was hundreds of years before similar devices appeared in Europe. Time has always fascinated humanity. Across cultures, across continents, the desire to measure, to know, to hold this invisible dimension. The word time is the most commonly used noun in English, more than person, more than year, more than day. We talk about time constantly. We save time, we waste time, we kill time. We're running out of time. Time has become inseparable from how we think, how we live. It structures everything. And yet, right now, you're letting that structure dissolve. You're entering timeless space where nothing is urgent, nothing is pressing, just being. The most accurate atomic clock would take 30 billion years to lose 1 second. 30 billion years. That's more than twice the current age of the universe. This clock uses strontium atoms trapped in laser light, vibrating with perfect regularity. We've come so far, from sundials to water clocks to mechanical gears to quantum precision, and yet all of it is just our attempt to measure what flows naturally, inevitably, regardless of our devices. Time doesn't need us, but we seem to need to understand time. Time seems to slow down during emergencies. When you're in danger, your brain records more detailed memories, creates more vivid mental snapshots, and when you remember the event, it feels like it lasted longer. You've probably experienced this. A near miss while driving, a fall, a moment of fear. It seemed to stretch, to unfold in slow motion. Your brain was paying attention, recording everything, creating a rich memory that makes time feel elongated. Meditation can alter your perception of time. When you meditate, focus on the present. Time can feel like it's slowing down, or even stopping. Minutes can feel like seconds, or seconds like minutes. Your usual mental chatter is often about past or future. Meditation brings you to now, and now is timeless. Right now, as you listen, you might be experiencing something similar, a gentle dissolution of temporal urgency, a floating feeling, neither past nor future, just this. Flow states make time disappear. When you're completely absorbed in an activity, time seems to vanish. Hours pass like minutes. You look up, and it's suddenly dark outside. Artists experience this, athletes, programmers, anyone deeply engaged. Time becomes irrelevant. There's only the task, the motion, the creation. Flow is timelessness within time. Boredom makes time drag, the opposite of flow. When you're bored, every minute feels like an hour. You check the clock, sure that 30 minutes have passed, and it's been 5. Your brain isn't engaged, isn't creating new memories, and so time feels empty, heavy, slow in the wrong way. But tonight, you're not bored. Tonight, you're peacefully drifting. Time is moving, just as it should. Nostalgia telescopes time. Events from 20 years ago can feel like they just happened. The emotional intensity of a memory makes it feel recent, even when decades have passed. Your first kiss, your graduation, the birth of a child. These moments stay vivid, and so they feel. closer in time than they are. Memory plays tricks with time, compressing, expanding, rearranging. If you're still awake, wonderful. There's no rush, no pressure, just more gentle facts, waiting to carry you forward. Some languages don't have future tense. Chinese, for example, uses context to indicate when something will happen, but there's no grammatical future tense, no special verb form. Does this change how speakers think about time? Some linguists believe so. Language shapes thought, and time is deeply linguistic. The Hopi people have a language that conceptualizes time very differently. Instead of past, present, and future, they describe events as manifested or unmanifested, objective or subjective. It's not about when, but about the nature of the event's reality. Time. There is no universal now in the universe. Because of relativity, simultaneity is relative. What you perceive as now here on Earth is different from now on a distant planet. Time depends on your frame of reference. The present moment isn't universal. It's local, personal, bound to your particular point in space-time. In a way, we each inhabit our own, slightly different present. Time zones were invented for railroads. Before the 1800s, every town kept its own local time, based on the sun. Noon was when the sun was highest, which varied by longitude, but trains needed coordination, schedules, so time zones were created, standardized, an agreement about what time it is. Time became less natural, more convenient, more artificial. The international date line is completely arbitrary. It runs mostly through the Pacific Ocean. When you cross it, you jump forward or backward a day, instantly, by convention. There's nothing physical there, no actual boundary in space, just an agreement, a line on a map, and yet, it defines yesterday and tomorrow. Time is surprisingly invented by us, for us. Astronauts on the International Space Station age slightly slower. They're moving at high speed, and they're in a weaker gravitational field. Both effects make time pass slightly more slowly for them. After 6 months in space, an astronaut is about 0.007 seconds younger than they would have been on Earth. A tiny difference, imperceptible, but real, measurable. Time flows differently up there. A day on Earth is getting longer, very slowly, about 1.7 milliseconds per century, because the moon's gravity is gradually slowing Earth's rotation. Billions of years ago, a day was only about 6 hours long. In the distant future, it might be 50 hours or longer. Time, even the day itself, is not constant. It evolves, changes, drifts. Nothing is truly permanent. Humans have an internal circadian rhythm, about 24 hours, give or take, even without external cues. Your body knows roughly when to sleep, when to wake, when to eat. This rhythm is maintained by a group of cells in your brain, the suprachiasmatic nucleus, your master clock. Right now, your clock is saying it's time to rest, time to let go, time to sleep. Jet lag happens when your internal clock doesn't match external time. You fly across time zones. Your body thinks it's noon, but the sun says it's midnight. The mismatch creates fatigue, confusion, disorientation. It takes about a day per time zone for your clock to adjust, your body recalibrating, finding its rhythm again. Time inside you needs to sync with time outside you. Some people are naturally morning larks, others are night owls. Genetics plays a role, your chronotype. Some people's circadian rhythms run slightly shorter. They naturally wake early, feel energetic in the morning. Others run longer, they stay up late, feel best at night. Neither is better, just different internal timings. You have your own rhythm, your own relationship with time, and that's beautiful. Seasonal affective disorder is related to light and time. In winter, days are shorter, less sunlight. For some people, this disrupts their circadian rhythm, affects their mood, their energy. Light doesn't just let us see, it regulates our internal time, tells our bodies what season it is, what time of day, how to feel. We're connected to the sun's rhythm, to Earth's spin, to the cosmos. Your body temperature follows a daily rhythm. It's lowest in the early morning, around 4 or 5 a.m., and highest in the late afternoon, around 5 or 6 p.m. This rhythm affects everything: your alertness, your physical performance, your mood. Your body is a symphony of time-based processes. Right now, as night deepens, your temperature is dropping, preparing you for sleep, for rest, for dreams. Your body knows what time it is. Humans have been creating time capsules for centuries, messages to the future, objects preserved, buried or sealed, waiting to be discovered by people who haven't been born yet. It's a hopeful act, an assumption that there will be a future, that someone will care, will remember. Time capsules are gifts across time, from one now to another now, years away. The oldest message in a bottle was found 132 years after it was sent, cast into the sea in 1886, found on a beach in Australia in 2018. The bottle had drifted, waited, survived storms and currents for over a century. Inside, a note about a German ship's voyage. Simple information, but also a voice from the past, reaching forward, saying, "I was here, I existed." DNA can store information for millions of years. Scientists have successfully stored data, books, images, encoded in synthetic DNA. And that DNA, if properly preserved, could last longer than any hard drive, any paper, any stone tablet. Perhaps one day, messages will be sent across time, written in the language of life itself. The Svalbard Global Seed Vault stores seeds for the future. Deep in the Arctic, in permafrost, millions of seeds from around the world, preserved, protected, a gift to future generations. In case of catastrophe, in case of need, these seeds wait, patient, timeless. Life, preserved across time. Hope, frozen but alive. Photographs freeze time, a moment captured, forever unchanged, while everything around it ages, moves on, changes. The photograph stays the same. It's beautiful and a little sad. We can look at who we were, but we can never return there. Time moves in only one direction, but the memories remain, preserved in images, in stories, in hearts. Human cells have internal clocks called telomeres. At the end of each chromosome, there are protective caps, telomeres. Every time a cell divides, these caps get a little shorter. Eventually, they're too short, and the cell stops dividing, ages, dies. It's a biological clock, counting down from birth. Time is written into our very cells. The oldest confirmed human lived to be 122 years old. Jeanne Calment, born in 1875, died in 1997. She met Vincent van Gogh, lived through 2 world wars, through the invention of cars, planes, computers. 122 years, more than a century of time, of experiences, of memories, an incredibly long life, and yet still finite, still bound by time's flow. Some organisms don't seem to age at all. The Teratopsis dohrnii jellyfish can revert to its juvenile form. effectively resetting its biological clock. It might be biologically immortal. Hydras also show negligible aging. They could potentially live forever, if not killed by predators or disease. Time affects different organisms differently. For some, it might not be a limit at all. Humans age at different rates. Some people look young at 60, others look old at 40. Genetics, lifestyle, environment, stress, all play roles. Chronological age and biological age aren't always the same. Two people born on the same day might have bodies that are years apart. In aging, time passes, but we experience it uniquely. The concept of retirement is less than 150 years old. For most of human history, people worked until they couldn't. There was no separate time of life for rest. Retirement, as we know it, began with industrialization, with pensions, with the idea that life could be divided into distinct phases: work time, rest time. Now, we structure our entire lives around time: school time, career time, retirement time, each phase with its own expectations, its own rhythms. But beneath all that structure is just living, just being, just moving through time, moment by moment. Geologists measure time in eons, eras, periods, and epochs. The Earth's history is divided into vast stretches: the Hadean Eon, the Archean, the Proterozoic, the Phanerozoic, each one representing hundreds of millions of years. We're currently in the Phanerozoic Eon, the Cenozoic era, the Quaternary period, the Holocene epoch, though some say we've entered a new epoch, the Anthropocene, the age of humans. Time, at geological scales, is almost incomprehensible. The Grand Canyon reveals nearly 2 billion years of Earth's history, layer upon layer of rock, each one formed at a different time. The Colorado River has carved through them, exposing a cross-section of time itself. You can walk down into the canyon, and with each step, travel millions of years into the past, touching rocks that were formed before animals existed on land. Stone is time made visible. Fossils are time travelers, the remains of organisms preserved in rock. Some are just thousands of years old, others hundreds of millions. Trilobites, dinosaurs, ancient ferns. They show us what life was like in times we can never visit. They're proof that time was real, that the past actually happened. Each fossil is a message from deep time, saying, we were here, we lived, we existed. The Earth has experienced 5 major mass extinctions, times when most life on the planet died: the Ordovician, the Devonian, the Permian, the Triassic, the Cretaceous. Each one reset the clock. In a sense, life rebuilt, evolved new forms, filled new niches. Time continued. Life persisted. We're living in the aftermath of the last one, 66 million years ago, when the dinosaurs vanished, when mammals had their chance. Ice ages come and go in cycles. For the past 2.5 million years, Earth has oscillated between cold periods with vast ice sheets and warmer interglacial periods, like now. These cycles take tens of thousands of years, driven by changes in Earth's orbit, wobbles in its spin, tilt in its axis. Time, at this scale, creates climates, shapes continents, builds and melts glaciers. We're living in a warm moment between ice ages. Imagine that. Your entire life, every human civilization, every city and culture, all occurring in one brief interglacial period. A warm pause in the rhythm of ice. The hourglass was invented around the 8th century. sand flowing through a narrow opening, from one glass bulb to another. A simple, elegant way to measure time. Unlike water clocks, hourglasses weren't affected by temperature. They could work anywhere, on ships, in cold climates, reliably, the sand falling grain by grain, each one a tiny moment, together, making hours. Pocket watches became popular in the 16th century. Time became portable, personal. You could carry it with you, check it whenever you wanted. No longer did you need to find a church tower or wait for a bell to chime. Time became individual, each person with their own timepiece, their own awareness of the hour. Wristwatches were initially considered feminine. Men carried pocket watches, but during World War I, soldiers needed their hands free. They needed to check the time quickly, in the trenches, so they strapped pocket watches to their wrists. And after the war, this became fashionable, practical. Now, wristwatches are universal. Fashion changes how we relate to time. The first quartz watch was made in 1969. Quartz crystals vibrate at a precise frequency when electricity passes through them. This made watches far more accurate than mechanical movements. The quartz revolution. Suddenly, affordable watches could keep better time than expensive mechanical ones. Time became democratized, precise, available to everyone. Smartphones have made watches less essential. Many people, especially younger generations, don't wear watches anymore. The time is always on their phone, in their pocket, on their screen. Time has become digital, constant, inescapable. We're always aware of what time it is. No need to wind anything. No need to look at our wrist. And yet, some people still love watches. Not for telling time, but for the connection to history, to craftsmanship, to the romance of mechanical time. You're doing beautifully. 20 more facts remain. Let them wash over you, like gentle waves, like soft rain. There's no need to hold on to any of this. Salvador Dali painted melting clocks, the persistence of memory. Clocks draped over tree branches, soft, liquid, dreamlike. He wanted to show that time is not rigid, not mechanical, but fluid, subjective, malleable. In dreams, time doesn't follow rules. Hours pass in seconds, or seconds stretch into eternity. Dali captured that strange relationship we have with time. Ancient Greek philosophers debated the nature of time. Heraclitus said everything flows. You cannot step in the same river twice, because the river changes, you change. Time is constant change, constant motion. Parmenides disagreed. He said change is an illusion, that being is eternal, unchanging, that time is not real, just a trick of perception. These debates continue today. What is time? Is it real? Or is it something we invented? The Buddhist concept of impermanence centers on time. Nothing lasts. Everything changes. Every moment is birth and death, arising and passing. The only constant is change itself. This isn't meant to be depressing. It's meant to be liberating. If nothing lasts, then suffering doesn't last. Pain doesn't last. This difficult moment will pass, and beautiful moments are precious precisely because they're temporary. Time teaches us to appreciate what's here now. T.S. Eliot wrote, "Time present and time past are both perhaps present in time future." Poetry tries to capture time's mystery, how memories live in the present, how the future is shaped by now, how it all interpenetrates, blends, becomes something more complex than linear progression. We carry our past, We imagine our future, and both exist right now, in this moment, in your mind. Music exists entirely in time. A painting, you can look at all at once. A sculpture, you can walk around. But music must unfold. Note after note, measure after measure. It only exists in its passing. You can't experience a symphony all at once. You must surrender to time. Let it carry you through the composition, from beginning to end. Music is time made audible. And in a way, this recording you're listening to is the same. It unfolds, carries you through 100 facts, from beginning to end, a journey through time and about time. H.G. Wells popularized the concept of time travel in 1895. The time machine. A scientist builds a device, travels to the distant future, sees humanity evolved or devolved into strange new forms. Wells understood that time is a dimension, that theoretically you might travel through it, just as you travel through space. The idea captured imaginations and has never let go. Einstein's theories suggest time travel to the future is possible. Move fast enough, or spend time near a massive gravitational field, and when you return, less time will have passed for you, more for everyone else. You will have traveled to their future. This isn't science fiction. It's proven physics. Astronauts do it. Very slightly, but measurably. Time travel to the future is real. Time travel to the past is more problematic. It creates paradoxes. The grandfather paradox. If you go back and prevent your grandfather from meeting your grandmother, then you're never born. But if you're never born, you can't go back. So he does meet her, so you are born. So you do go back, and on and on. Some physicists think the universe would prevent such paradoxes. Others think parallel timelines might form, each decision creating a branch, a new timeline. We don't know. We may never know. The past remains locked, accessible only through memory, through records, through imagination. Tachyons, if they exist, would travel backward in time. Hypothetical particles, faster than light, which, according to relativity, would experience time in reverse. They would arrive before they were sent. No one has ever detected a tachyon. They may not exist, but the mathematics allows for them. The universe might be stranger than we think. Some interpretations of quantum mechanics suggest all moments exist simultaneously. The block universe theory, past, present, and future, all equally real, all existing together. Time is not flowing, it's laid out, like a landscape, and consciousness moves through it, creating the illusion of flow. If this is true, then every moment of your life exists forever. This moment right now will always be, somewhere in the structure of space-time, preserved, eternal. It's a comforting thought that nothing is ever truly lost. Your earliest memories are probably from around age 3. Before that, almost nothing. This is called childhood amnesia. Your brain wasn't yet developed enough to form lasting explicit memories. Your first 3 years exist only in photos, in stories others tell you, but not in your own recall. Those years of time are lost to you, and yet they shaped you, made you who you are, even if you can't remember. Smell is the sense most strongly linked to memory. A certain perfume, the smell of rain on pavement, fresh bread, pine trees. Instantly, you're transported to a specific time, a specific place. The memory is vivid, emotional, almost overwhelming. This is because the olfactory system connects directly to the brain's memory centers. bypassing other processing. Smell is a direct line to the past. Time, encoded in scent. Déjà vu is a strange temporal experience. The feeling that you've lived this moment before, that this is repeating, even though you know, logically, it's not. Scientists think it's a memory glitch, your brain mislabeling the present as the past, a brief confusion in the temporal processing centers. But it feels uncanny, like time folding, like the universe stuttering. Humans can only hold about 7 items in working memory. Right now, this present moment, you can juggle roughly 7 pieces of information. Phone numbers tend to be 7 digits. For this reason, your present, your now, is limited, finite. You can only hold so much before things slip away, into the past, into forgetting. Time constantly erodes, takes things from your grasp, and that's okay. You don't need to hold everything. Just let it flow. False memories can feel as real as true ones. You might remember something that never happened, a story someone told you, a dream, suggestion. Over time, it becomes your memory, indistinguishable from real experience. Memory is not a recording, it's a reconstruction. Each time you remember, you rebuild the memory, and you might build it slightly wrong, adding details, changing them. Your past is not fixed, it's fluid, changing as you change. The universe is expanding, galaxies moving apart, space itself stretching, getting larger. This means the universe had a beginning, the Big Bang, and it will have an end. One possibility is the Big Freeze. The universe expands forever. Stars burn out, black holes evaporate, everything becomes cold, dark, still. Maximum entropy, heat death. This would take trillions upon trillions of years, but eventually, all activity would cease. Time would become meaningless. Nothing would change. Nothing would happen. Time would effectively end. Another possibility is the Big Crunch. If there's enough matter, gravity might eventually overcome the expansion. The universe would stop growing, start shrinking, collapsing back, faster and faster. Eventually, everything would merge, collapse into a singularity, all matter, all energy, all space, all time, compressed into a point, and perhaps another Big Bang, a new universe, time, beginning again, cyclic, eternal, death and rebirth, on a cosmic scale. Some physicists think time might be an illusion, that the fundamental laws of physics don't actually require time. That time emerges from more basic principles, from entropy, from the arrangement of matter at the quantum level. Time might not exist at all. Particles don't experience past or future, just possibility, probability, superposition. Time might be something that only appears at our scale, in our world of cause and effect, but not in the deepest nature of reality. Your own time is finite. One day, you will experience your last moment, your last thought, your last breath. Time, for you, will end. This isn't meant to frighten. It's meant to remind that your time is precious. Every moment is a gift, unrepeatable, unique. Right now, this moment is the only moment you truly have. The past is gone. The future hasn't arrived. This present now is all there is, and you're spending it listening to these words, resting, preparing for sleep, for dreams, for the gentle surrender into unconsciousness. What a beautiful way to spend time. Time is the canvas on which your life is painted. Every experience, every relationship, every joy and sorrow, every mundane moment and extraordinary event, all of it happening in time, through time, because of time. Without time, there would be no change, no growth, no stories, no music, no aging, no healing, no learning, no love. Time makes everything possible, and time makes everything temporary, precious, worth cherishing. You are a being of time, living in time, moving through time, experiencing time, creating memories that will last as long as you do. And when you wake tomorrow, time will still be here, flowing, carrying you forward into new moments, new experiences, new chapters. But for now, time is soft, gentle, inviting you to rest. You've journeyed through 100 facts, from the nature of time, to its measurement, to its experience, from ancient sundials to modern atomic clocks, from geological eons to quantum moments. You've explored time in all its mystery, its beauty, its strangeness. And now, it's time to let go. Let these stories fade into the background. Let your breathing deepen. Let your body sink further into comfort. Time will continue, with or without your attention. The universe will keep spinning. Clocks will keep ticking. Days will keep turning. But you can step out of time, into sleep, into dreams, where time follows different rules, where hours feel like minutes, where past and future blur together. Sleep is timeless, a nightly surrender, a gentle reminder that you don't have to carry time, don't have to watch it, measure it, worry about it. For the next few hours, time is yours, entirely yours, to spend in the peace of unconsciousness, in the mystery of dreams, in the healing of rest. Your day is done. Your tasks are complete. Your thoughts can quiet. Your mind can still. There is nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be. Just here, now, drifting. The facts you've heard will settle into your memory. Some you'll remember, some you'll forget. And that's perfect. They served their purpose. They kept you company. They guided you toward this moment, this peace. Tomorrow, time will greet you again, fresh, new, full of possibility. But tonight, time is simply passing, gentle, unhurried, like a river, like breath, like the stars moving across the sky. You are safe, you are warm, you are exactly where you should be. And time, infinite time, stretches before you, not to be filled, not to be used, just to be experienced, one moment at a time, one breath at a time. So rest now, let go, surrender to time's gentle current, let it carry you into sleep, into dreams, into the soft darkness where nothing is urgent, where everything can wait. The universe has been here for billions of years. It will be here tomorrow. Your life will continue. But right now, in this moment, there is only rest, only peace, only sleep. May these stories lull you to sleep. Good night.